Hello and welcome, everyone. I hope I'm audible. I can see good faces, but I can see black screens as well. I would request everyone to please be on camera. So, being on camera for the next 60 minutes, you get your ICF 1 CCE. How good is that? So, not much wasting much of time. We have here Dr. Saurabh Patil as a speaker. Now, I would like to introduce him to everyone. And Dr. Saurabh Patel is a professional coach, a keynote speaker, and advocate for mental and emotional well-being, specializing in helping individuals and organizations unlock their potential with expertise in resilience, adaptability, and emotional intelligence. Dr. Patel supported many professionals and leaders worldwide to navigate challenges, embrace change, and thrive in high-pressure environments. And now I would like to have Dr. Saurabh Patel take you forward from here.
Thank you so much, Said, for this wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. And I can see people have joined from different countries, different places. So just write in the chat box from where you're joining. So I know that you're from different countries across the globe. And please try to have your cameras on. I won't bite, I promise you that. All right, lovely. Where are people joining from? Abu Dhabi, Pakistan, Mumbai, Iceland, Singapore, Dubai, Georgia, lovely. India, nice. It looks like it's a whole globe around here in this Zoom call, I think. All right, let's begin. We have a very limited time, and I plan to do a lot apart from speaking, keeping this more interactive, and also we'll do some small surprise activity here in the end of my speech just before the Q&A. I would prefer to have the Q&A in the end, the last 10 minutes, so that we can have an uninterrupted session and we can have enough time for the question and answers peacefully in the end. Okay, lovely. Lovely to see all the smiling and amazing faces from across the globe. So, greetings of the day from wherever you're joining. I believe you're all coaches joining from different parts of the world, and I think even I'm a coach, and I think all of us, even though we are coaches, we definitely have faced some or the other challenges while coaching a client, maybe from their side, uh, maybe from our side. So let's dwell on two important factors today, in terms of coaching, navigating through the global landscape, that is resilience and adaptability. Now, I want to believe that you guys have heard this word a lot, right? In conferences, in speeches, in books, read in the books. Many coaches write about resilience and adaptability. Can anybody tell me what resilience is and what adaptability is? Just unmute and say anything. It's okay. Anyone?
Resilience for me could be around bouncing back after having a shock or something
Okay.
unanticipated. Adaptability, the the ease of change. Yeah, so those
Absolutely.
would be my thoughts.
Lovely, lovely. Anyone else? Thanks,
Even if
Nishish.
the, even if there
Yeah,
is an upset or something that happened to us, we will come back to our normal sense,
right.
overcoming all the obstacles. That's resilience.
Lovely.
And adaptability means that we always accustom ourselves with the circumstances or to make
Right.
sure that everything is fine with us. That's my understanding about both the words.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think George, Nishish, you guys have actually gave me the right answers. So that is why we are going to delve into it more deeper today in what resilience is, what adaptability is, how it can be a good trait for us as coaches, and how we can help client navigate through it or rather adopt to it. Because a lot of times we see clients are not able to, or rather the coaches are not able to adapt to it. They feel stuck. They feel, you know, stuck behind a wall because they are not able to get through these kind of habits into them. So lovely. Great to see all these incredible coaches. Thank you, Nishish. Thank you, George, for the lovely answers. So let me start with a question with all of you. How many of you, you all are coaches, how many of you had ever had a client who would say, I feel lost? And secretly you thought, me too, buddy. Have you felt that, all of you? Yeah. Because you see, change is the only constant thing in life. We have heard this a lot. And yet, it still surprises all of us. We have a habit, as a human, we have a habit of resisting change, change everywhere in our lives, in our office, even why we do resist. I mean, I understand not many of us are techies, so we do resist change. While there is a software in the laptop, there is a software update in our phones, especially when you're in the middle of some work, some serious work, and then there is sudden software update. We do resist that, so change inevitably is resisted by us. But let me tell you one thing. In reality, change is what keeps us growing. Change is what keeps us going as well. Change is something that is going to come our way. It's inevitable. You cannot deny it. You cannot throw it away. You cannot just say, no, I'm not going to change. It's going to come your way. You like it or not. But if you embrace it, it will help you keep grow and go ahead. I mean, I had a lot of changes in my career. Well, if you know me, let me tell you, I'm an computer engineer who never practiced computer engineering. I did my MBA and did my PhD. I traveled to more than 3 to 4 countries in 2 years of my time on my job, corporate job, when I was placed in after my MBA. Now, imagine, I am a computer engineer. I was traveling to 3, 4 countries for a sales job. I was into sales and marketing, building a career across different culture, different industries, electrical industries, telecom industries, seeing the business shifts in different countries at different time. Now imagine me adjusting to all these changes. Not only that, when I came back to India, I'm from Mumbai, India. When I came back to India, adjusting to the new norms, new joys in a difficult time of COVID, that is parenting the twins. I do have twin daughters and they were born during the COVID. So just imagine, I won't have a better example of myself where nothing builds resilience like toddlers testing your patience at 3 a.m., especially into a COVID lockdown. I mean, seriously, that's the best test of your resilience. That's the best test of your patience. That is the best test of your adaptability. But I mean, on a serious note, beyond all this, my journey taught me these things. Resilience and adaptability are the two most critical skills in today's world. Even if we see client shifting, even if we see thought processes shifting, even if we see mindset shifting, even if we see COVID going back and we are getting back to a normal life, everything normalizing, these two are the most critical skills in today's world that's going to take us way, way, way ahead. And I think as coaches, we all are across the globe, wherever you are based, we are in a unique position to help people develop these skills. We as coaches are in a unique position to help people get these skills, enhance them. Right? Am I right? Perfect. So let's move to the changing landscape across the world. The topic of today is navigating through the changing landscape across the globe. What is it that is changing across the globe? What is the landscape? Where is it shifting? The first and most important thing, technology. Where are we going? AI and automation. We all have heard about AI, right? AI into everything. We know Chat GPT. We know AI is getting into everything. You have to create a presentation. You have to write a report. You need to write a speech. You need to write a script, or even you need some tools to develop. AI is everywhere. And that is why coaches like us need to offer what AI can't. I mean, trust me, I've seen it. There are people calling on helplines where they have now put AI bots. When you call, you talk to them, they will talk to you like humans. But tell me something, no matter how many bots you put on a help center, call center, or even on a video call to address the issues of the person, can they address the issues at the same level as all of us humans? Exactly, because there is something that we have over AI, that is the emotional quotient. Exactly. No, we have the emotional quotient. And that is why we coaches have to offer that emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, and adaptability to our clients, which the AI might not offer. I mean, I'm not talking about uh, a very high AI, which we see in the movies, which can also generate emotions. I think that's way, way, way far away in the future. But right now, even though AI is there for us, it's us who can give that emotional support, intelligence, and adaptability to the clients. And you know what? The most recent cases while I was coaching came to me about transition. A friend of mine, let me tell you, a friend of mine wanted me to coach him. He's based in US, United States. I asked him, you are well to do, you have a good income, you have a good family, you have a son, wife, you're well settled in US. What is the issue? You know what he said? One word, just one word: transition. During COVID, they were all asked to work from home. There was hardly any social life. The only social life he had was the office meetings and the office brainstorming sessions. He was sitting at home whole day in front of the computer. The only people he saw throughout the day was his wife and his son, except for one or two times when he went out for the grocery. But last year, his company offered him a promotion. He was very happy about it, of course, no doubt. But he was more nervous and anxious than being happy. Why? Because his organization wanted him in the office, and not just in the office. No more Zoom calls. They wanted him to travel across the US in different countries, visit their different offices. Now, anyone just before COVID in a normal environment would be very happy to get a raise, promotion, travel across the globe within the country. But this guy became much, much more anxious than being happy, because all 3, 4 years he was just used to working in front of a computer. And this is another shift that we see, is a major problem where our clients are not able to adapt to the new surroundings, or the clients are not able to adapt to the new scenario, a shift from remote to hybrid work to the actual work. There are clients who are struggling with isolation, motivation, and transitions. They're not motivated enough to move to the transition, to move out of that comfort zone. That is one of the major shift. So we had 3 to 4 sessions with my friend of this who was facing issues. Now, eventually, he's able to cope up with that. He's able to so now he's going 3 days to the office, 2 days from home. He's able to travel twice in 15 days. Initially, it was very draining for him, but then after we had couple of sessions, after we had couple of exercises, it's become a normal routine for him. He's slowly normalizing it. He's now started even enjoying it. So that is how the transition is going on. Another thing, we have seen a lot of cases of successful entrepreneurs who have transitioned in their careers, who have actually pivoted in their careers from one industry to another, from being bankrupt to millionaire, from being um, a freelancer to becoming a professional. But post COVID, I think a lot of people are facing this issue about career pivots. The increase in pivots, that is, more professionals are seeking meaning and purpose. They're not happy, but they don't know how to pivot and where to pivot. They don't find the true meaning and purpose. And this is where the adaptability, the resilience comes into picture. Now, when I told you about my friend who I coached, who's based in US, there are a couple of things we did which I wanted to, tell you guys what helped us basically. Number one, we identified his core challenge. Now, the first and the most foremost core challenge he had was a social exhaustion. I told you guys he was sitting a whole day in front of the computer talking to just the office people and then his wife and the son. Exactly, Moini. I agree with you. The first thing he was facing was social exhaustion. He did not have the habit of going out, interacting with more people. So we developed an exercise where he would slowly start exercising, so start meeting people, write down a couple of things, who he met, what did they interact, how well it could have been improved. So that eventually within a month or two's time, it helped them. It helped him to become more socially active. So boy, you're absolutely right. There is a lot of adrenaline for fatigue, burnout because of these things. Second thing, we developed micro adaptations. So I was not, I mean, we knew that he wouldn't suddenly adapt and move out and travel and be very active and a flamboyant personality. We started with small things, small milestones, structured, like I just mentioned, structured social interactions with a few people. Then there was something called as intentional recovery time. When he used to interact to two, three people in a week, maybe the grocery guy or maybe someone else, I asked him not to do interaction for the next 2 days with anyone. Okay, now you would say, like, why? I mean, we want him to go out and interact. Of course, but I didn't want him to be exhausted because of that interaction. I didn't want him to get more anxious because of interaction. What we did is we took a break after every interaction, a day's break, where we that was a recovery time where he would recover from the interaction, he would write down his learnings, he would refresh, or how I want to put it, he would restart with a fresher mindset and then go for another interaction. That way, see, it's like you're on a diet from Monday to Saturday, and then Sunday is your cheat day where you're refreshed, and again from Monday you start with your diet. If you keep doing a diet all day long through the month, you will be exhausted. Similarly, we wanted a recovery time, so had a recovery time of a day or two. And third thing, a shift in narrative. When you're anxious, or when the client is anxious, when the client is nervous, there is a lot of negative self-talk, and then there is a narrative that is built up in your mind. Office, oh, it's going to be bad. There will be people interacting, there'll be a lot of office politics, and then what this will happen and that. So we shifted the narrative where the office was not a bad place to go and work. It's the only thing, he needed a new rhythm. There's a lot of good things in the office, interacting with people, meeting them, having team lunches, doing actual work, the great environment, some good food. So we shifted the narrative from, being bad at office work to being a great place to go and interact. And these three strategies actually helped him a lot, so much that we have a we do have a interactive session, just me and him, not a coaching session, where he tells me about how things are, and that's where he admitted that things are moving pretty well now. And these kind of things, these three strategies helped him to cope up with the actual environment. So one thing which I wanted to tell you guys is clients, I mean, you all know this statement. You all know, trust me, you all know this. It is only I'm just saying it loud. Clients don't need to be fixed. They need a framework to navigate with confidence to handle the change. Am I correct? I think most of you know this. It's a very cliched statement, but that's a fact. I mean, they don't need to be fixed. So, moving on. Let's delve into the two words that we have been talking about. Let's start with resilience. I know I thought resilience was tough. Many think resilience was tough. Even we coaches think resilience is tough. Our clients definitely think resilience is tough. But neuroscience tells us it's about flexibility. Training your brain to recover faster than setbacks. Exactly, courage for clarity. Not just for courage or for clarity, courage for clarity. Yes. How many of your neuroscience coaches here? Anybody? Just raise your hand. It's okay. Anybody neuroscience coaches, or maybe write in the chat box. No one? All right. No worries, no worries. So neuroscience tells us that it's more about flexibility. Oh, lovely, Nishish. Great. I think you must have known this then, that it's all about flexibility. How to train your brain to recover faster from setbacks. Setbacks definitely give us anxiety. Setbacks tells us, that it's failure, you're done. But setbacks are actually, if you view it, it can be a time to restart rather than failures. Which is how we tell our brain, what narrative we put inside the brain, that setbacks can be a time to restart, not just a wall or a end of the thing. So, I would say, to help your clients build resilience or help them adapt resilience, the three things or the three R's that can help. One is reframe. Shift the perspective, change the narrative from failure to learning. Setbacks are learning, setbacks are time to restart. Reframe it. Number two, regulate. Emotional responses can be very complex or very difficult during such times. They may not come out of mindfulness. There may not be pauses. As I always say, take a pause and then restart. Regulate their emotional responses with mindfulness so they can take a pause and restart to adapt resilience. And third thing, of course, restart. When you when you're regulating the responses, maybe with mindfulness, with neuroscience, help them take small action, maybe controlled experimentations, some small actions that we know the result is going to be a positive one. That will build confidence to face the resilience. Restart to take small actions and with controlled experiments that can give you, because a lot number of smaller milestones achieved can give a greater confidence to achieve a bigger milestone. So the three R's, let me repeat the three R's here for resilience: reframe, regulate, and restart. That will help you as a coach to make sure your client is adapting to resilience. Okay, let me give you an example. I usually coach men. I only coach men. In fact, I'm coaching men from corporates. I'm coaching men from the within the age of perfect Smita, age of 20 to 50. I'm coaching men who are all entrepreneurs as well. So I had a, in last year, 2023, I had a client who was a mid-level manager in an IT firm. I mean, he was working from home again, because of COVID and everything. He definitely faced a lot of burnouts because his company downsized. There were times during the COVID when the business went down, a lot of companies had laid off. Even today they lay off, but there were companies who had laid off back then. And laying off can cause tremendous trauma to you, even as a leader, even as a manager. This guy's company started laying off. He thought it's going to be him, but the problem was it was not him, it was his team. Instead, they started laying off his team members one by one. And that is what caused anxiety in him. That is what caused big burnout, because there were a lot of things which he had to do. There was a lot of pressure on him to perform. Not only that, he started feeling guilty of the idea that he was not able to protect his team. He was not able to hold his team. Okay, Dumi has something to say here. Yes, yes, yes. It could be. It could be the other way around. Systemic cycle. Agree. So both, it could be both ways. Depends on situation to situation. Yeah. So sorry, I was, yeah. So he had he started developing the guilt about not able to protect his team. He thought the people who were going out started blaming him, and then he again felt guilty that he couldn't hold at least a few members of his team. So all these things started creating anxiety in him. He felt like he failed everyone, not only himself, his team. What we tried to do, what I tried to do is again use the 3R framework here. So when he used to say, I failed my team, I failed in doing this. So this came in a couple of times through his mouth. So what I tried is, instead of letting him say I failed, he reframed it to, this could be an opportunity to lead differently. This could be an opportunity for change. This could be a shift in your life, a positive shift. So that is why we use the reframe R to change the mindset. Second, regulate. He used to rush to the office because of this hectic schedule. Get up, move to the office, get things done, come back home. Whenever he used to work from home, get up and get in front of the laptop. So that again was, a big exhaustion for him. Exactly, make situations a positive manner. So we try to regulate it. I asked him to do what I usually do. I asked him to take a pause ritual in the morning to regain focus. So, okay, let me tell you what I do. When I get up, I don't look at my phone. I don't even get up out of the bed immediately. When I get up in the morning, I sit at my bed, I take a pause for a minute or 30 seconds, and then start my day. It is only to regain focus. Because a lot of times when you wake up, you are either in that zone, or you're trying to transition from your sleep to the actual real world. So, what I try to do is I have a pause every morning before I get up. Maybe open my eyes, lie down, or open my eyes, sit down for 30 seconds, and then start my, daily course, like brush my teeth and wash. I built this for him. Start with a morning pause ritual. No phone, sit down, blank mind for 30 seconds. Even even in the end, not in the end, later on, we started doing another ritual where I told him, the moment you get up, take a pen and paper. In fact, before you go to bed, keep the pen and diary ready. The moment you get up, without saying a single word or to anyone, write down whatever thoughts come to your mind. Whatever, blank. Is it good thoughts, bad thoughts, anything, wild thoughts, anything? Do this every day. Write down the thoughts that come to you. I mean, the first thing when you get up, even before going to the washroom, brushing your teeth. The moment you open your eyes, get up and write down. You won't believe what kind of thoughts are running through our head when we get up. Eventually, what happened is, after 15, 20 days, when he got up and he took the pen and diary to write, he was not able to write anything because he had a blank mind. A completely blank mind, like a blank piece of paper. And that is how where the pause ritual becomes successful. Yeah, it happened, George. And I mean, I have also done that. I have also done that when I was anxious. Another coach told me to do this. So even coaches need coaches, and it really helps. When you get up, you're so much drained. You have so much to focus on throughout the day. There's so many things inside your head. You need to clear out your head to start the day with the right focus. And this is something that helped me, that helped him. Now, the third thing, restart. He proactively started engaging with his new team, attracting them. And rather than being to know each other. So this is our more stronger. So resilience and adaptability. Right. Another word, adaptability. See, now we all know that post COVID, everything is unpredictable. You don't know what is going to happen. You cannot predict. I mean, I remember when my first job, people used to ask me, where do you see yourself, say, 5 years from now? Where do you see yourself 10 years from now? I know, I mean, if someone would have asked you or me in 2019, where do you see yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I'm sure we would have had an answer, but definitely in 2020, we would have been jumbled. We know that it's an unpredictable world now. I mean, lot of people have these rigid strategies which don't work. We need flexible strategies because flexible strategies will help us to adapt to any kind of a situation that would come at us at the last minute. Adaptability is making real time adjustments. Adaptability situations, that is where adaptability is. Rigid strategies don't work when there are real time challenges or real time shifts. That is where adaptability is. It can be anywhere, trust me. It can be in your relationships, it can be your personal emotional traumas, it can be in your business as an entrepreneur, it can be in your career shifts wherever you're moving or career pivots. But that is why adaptability helps you do these kind of adjustments or adapt to these situations, be it in your professional and personal life. And when we talk about adaptability, there are the three C's that I want to focus on. Just like we had three R's in resilience, three C's. Exactly, very similar to muscle strengthening. So let me tell you what the three C's are. Any guesses what the first C is? It is with every child. Every child has that first C. I'm giving you a hint. Any guesses what it is? You can write in the chat box. Care. Yes. Lovely. You guys have got it already. I don't need to tell you. It's curiosity. Yes, it is curiosity. One of the biggest word or the one of the best word today, curiosity, which every child has, but we don't have as an adult. Curiosity. When we are coaching a client, we try to teach them or try we should try to tell them that it's good to explore solutions instead of fearing uncertainty. When any client wants to explore something new or try something new or maybe shift, there is always a fear that what would happen? Will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it damage me? Will it take me 10x? Be it, in corporate coaching, executive coaching, or even life coaching. Generate these kind of curiosities where the client is ready to explore more solutions instead of fearing them. Another thing, second thing, creativity. I'm not talking about creativity that comes with artists where you get draw some beautiful picture, you compose a nice song, or maybe you do some amazing new creativity with your interiors. Everyone has a streak of creativity. Every human, we are built that way. We as coaches can help a client to find unconventional ways to approach challenges. Yes, unconventional. That is where the small creativity comes into picture. It could be anything. It could be in your personal, professional life, business, relationship. But that's most important thing, to help our clients, find unconventional ways to approach challenges. And number three, of course, courage. Sophie, did you by any chance have my script with you? I think you know everything. Lovely, lovely. Courage. One of the important things is bold decisions. And I mean, of course, we try to build courage, we try to get courage. This, George, the second one is creativity. I mean, bold decisions are not easy. I totally understand. And neither is it for me, not you, and not for the clients, because we're humans. But bold decisions, if we encourage them, they can at least have some answers. Bold steps, even if one step, smaller steps, can help you to reach a bigger milestone. Okay, let me give you another example. I mean, an example would do better. There was a friend of mine who was actually my wife's friend, who, because she's into finance, he was also into finance. Now, he was with the same company for 12 years. Imagine, in today's world where people are shifting in their corporate jobs, moving from one company to the another in 2 years, 3 years. Exactly, Yasmin. I agree. This guy was in one job for 12 years. It's not like he was not smart, he was not intelligent, he was a finance guy. He was very good with numbers. It's not like he was not smart enough, but he resisted the change. He resisted career shift. He had couple of offers where he had better profile, better packages, but he resisted change. The only thing he did is resisted change, resisted career shift. Eventually, there came a time when his promotion became obsolete, his work became obsolete. Even though his organization wanted him to shift to a better profile in a different organization, he wouldn't do that because he was so much into his comfort zone, he didn't want to change. And that started becoming a big problem for him. And then, while coaching, of course, he took one session and then he disappeared. You know how men are. I mean, I'm just joking. He took one session and then he disappeared for 2 months and 2 months. Because he went. Then after 2 months, we started working on him again with the three C's. You know how we used curiosity. We first found out what his skills were. We first checked the openings in different organizations, what skills they required. Then how can he adapt to the new organization with the same skills, how he can explore the profile. He was very good at networking in his organization. The whole organization from top to bottom knew him. So we tapped this creativity to build better networking with the incoming organization or the organization where he wanted to shift. how he can interact, how he can build rapport, what he did in this organization, how he can replicate in the same organization or in a different organization, in a new one. And then came the biggest part, the courage to take action and take the shift. We made sure that the courage was in him that defined his self-worth. The confidence, the courage came from the self-worth that he had accumulated with his work, with the results he gave to the organization. And that confidence actually helped him, you know, go beyond his profile, beyond the organization. It was difficult. This whole transition took us 6 months, where we had a recovery time of 15 to 20 days between every session. So this whole time took us 6 months. And this is why I say that adaptability is not just about, getting used to a change. Adaptability is not just getting used to the change. It's actually embracing the, unknown, the uncertain with confidence. I mean, there are very, very, very few people in this world who are ready to embrace anything that comes and they make great out of that opportunity. But I think most of the clients or most of the people in an uncertain world need to understand that adaptability is actually embracing the uncertainty as an opportunity rather than fear it, that would cause them some blockage or hold them back. Okay, it's been a whole. We are running short of time, I think. So let's do one thing. It's been a good session with a lot of knowledge. Let's do one activity here so that I can wake up everyone. Okay, take 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds. I'll just tell you when to start. You all are coaches. You all have been coaching clients, right? Think of any client who had the personal challenge or anything that didn't, or so you were trying to coach this client who had a personal or professional challenge, but certain things, client related things, didn't go as planned. You tried coaching them, but it didn't go as planned. Now, try to reframe it. I mean, you can put your answers in the chat box. Try to reframe it, right? Write down this challenge as a learning growth opportunity. Drop it in the chat box, I don't mind, but rewrite this challenge as a learning or a growth opportunity. What you learned, how you handled that challenge, where the client was or things didn't go as planned with the client. What was your role as a coach with them? How did you help them detach from failure or reframe it as a stepping stone? Let me repeat it. You have 30 seconds when I say go. Okay, not yet. One challenge which you faced with your client that didn't go as planned, your learning opportunity, and how did you help them detach? Write it in the chat box. Your time starts now. 30 seconds. Think about it and just drop a message in the chat box. Rigid and unable to change. To make sure to educate the need. Yes. Omer Rana says, I'm looking at all this with what if. Yeah, actually, what if is a good question to ask. You can explore a lot with what if. Be present. Time was not right. That's one of the important things. A lot of times we push for change, but certain times it's not right. Good, but every person is different, right? Perspectives do matter. Transition to a new Profession, yes. What if framework? Yes, you need to give the client. That's what we talk about recover when we say recovery time. It's the space where you give the client to transform Nilia, sorry. That's the space you give the client to transform. I mean, it's like your food, I talk a lot about food, sorry, because I'm a restaurateur, so I'd like to talk about food. It's like a food, you keep eating, it will not digest, so there won't be a place for new food. So you need to give the food to digest, you need to let it out, then there'll be, space in your stomach to get in the new food. Similarly, you need to have a recovery time for the client to absorb and transform. Then you can proceed. Everyone is unique. Perfect. All right, shall we move ahead? I will just take 5 minutes from now before we open up for Q&A. All right. We're going to do an activity. My friend Vikas is here. We are going to do an activity. Hi, Vikas. So we're going to do an activity where I'll tell you what to do. But before that, let me just finish this session with my final thoughts. Okay, a few things I want to tell you. We all think as coaches, we try to solve problems. We are not here to solve the problems. We are here to guide people solve problems themselves. We are here to create our clients more resilient, more adaptable for any kind of a certainty that may come. Whenever you go back after this session, just think about this, what I'm going to say next. If your coaching can make a person truly resilient, if you as a coach or if your coaching can make a person truly resilient, how would their life change? Moroa, that's the biggest thing every new coach or every aspiring coach has in his or her mind. Even I had faced the same thing. We humans are programmed so we humans are programmed to provide solutions so badly that we want to give solution, but we are not here to give you a solution. We are not here to give solution. We are here to help the client find a solution. So don't jump to a solution mode. We have to reprogram. Yeah, the powerful question which I want you to think even after this session, reflect on it, think about it. If your coaching could make a person truly resilient, how would their life change? So everybody, if you enjoyed the session, if you liked the session, type resilient in the chat box so I know that you had value from this session. Before we move on to a small activity and open up for Q&A. Thank you so much. Just a sec. Okay, I would say it. I have the I'm the co-host, right? Because I would need to share the screen.
Yes, sir. You're the co-host.
Okay, great. Because I'm starting the event.
Sure.
Okay, guys, are you ready? Let me share my screen. Let me run the event. Yeah. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen? Yes. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. Okay, tell me if you see a QR code here. Can you see QR code? Type yes in the chat box if you're able to see a QR code. All right, perfect. So what I need to do is, you all have WhatsApp in your mobile, right? Scan the QR code and there will be a pre-filled message that will come to your WhatsApp, which will say hi, and there'll be something called as press enter. So the moment you see the message in your text box in your WhatsApp, just press enter, and you will be greeted with a personalized message that hi George, hi Vikas. Similarly, when you see that, you will see a question here. Do you see a question here? What do you think is the biggest challenge for clients when it comes to resilience? Just type an answer within 1 or 2 words, not more than that, 2 or 3 words max, and let me see what exactly you guys you know felt about the session. So just scan the QR code, and something similar will open up in your mobile. Yes, motivation. Okay, great, great. Fear, love, more. Resistance, to be patient. I like, good, good, good. Self doubt. Okay. Lack of confidence. Resistance, patient. Encouraging. Fear, lack of awareness. Yes.
Saurabh, just to enter, someone mentioned that they are using phone probably to attend the session. Hence, it will be
Okay,
a little
okay.
tricky for them to scan the
Yeah,
QR
could
code.
be.
For their benefit,
Yeah.
I have shared a link in the chat box. It's a
Okay.
WhatsApp message link. So if they click it, then again the same thing will happen. Their WhatsApp will open and they can enter into the Q&A round.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Vikas.
Vikas. Yeah, so Vikas is here, who has actually built the app, and it's a fantastic app. So those who are joining in from mobile, please click on the link and then you can answer the question. Okay, if you guys are done, can we move on to the next question? Okay. Right, just a sec. All right. Now we have question number 2. So you can just directly answer this question by typing in your WhatsApp message. So you need not go for the question or scan again. What is the biggest struggle you face as a coach when helping clients navigate change? Fear, that's the biggest factor. Self-doubt, yes. Not willing to work, absolutely. Wanting to tell them what to do, right? I think we all aspiring coaches or new coaches face that. Imposter syndrome, one of the biggest one, absolutely. So give us some time. It takes time to, get displayed at the screen. Said, how much time do we have?
5 minutes.
Okay. So I think I can stop sharing the screen. I think we had some amazing responses and actually good responses which we face in real life. We will have 5 minutes just for the Q&A because we are running short of time. Okay. Thank you so much, guys, for this wonderful responses. Yeah, so I've stopped screen share. Yeah, I'm opening the floor for questions. If you have any, we just have around 3 to 4 minutes or maybe 5 minutes to answer the questions. Just unmute yourself or maybe raise your hand and I can pick up one by one. If you have any questions. We have too many people, so I have to toggle between two screens. Anyone? Any questions? Any questions, guys? If there are no questions, we can maybe close the session. All right. If there are no questions. Yeah. Maisa, right? Am I pronouncing it right? Yeah, tell me.
I love the idea of the rituals. Is
Yeah.
there accountability for it? an accountability for the like you propose a certain ritual for them, like just the example that you gave to your friend, such as writing down whatever thoughts came to mind. Is there a an accountability? So if you give them this period between each session, when you come back to them the second time, do you ask them whether they've been doing that? I mean, uh, I guess it's the accountability measure to it.
Yeah. So it does. I mean, so what we do is when we come back to another session after recovery time, I ask them what their thought process was, how different their mindset was to approach things now after coaching compared to what it was before coaching. And when it comes to the writing ritual in the morning, I make sure that they either send me a pic of the diary or whatever they have, so I know that they're writing it down. So one more thing what I suggest them to do is, when you are having a lot of bad thoughts, when you pen down those bad thoughts in the morning, tear down that page and throw it away. When you have
Mm,
good thoughts, keep it in the diary so you have positive things with you.
I like that.
Thank you.
Thank
I hope
you.
that answers your question. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that
Omer
does.
Rana, I
Thank you.
think Omer had raised a hand. Yeah, where are you? I cannot see you.
Yes, well, you can hear me.
Yeah, I can see you now.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Great. Thank you for the entire session. Good input. I did want to ask one particular thing is in terms of adaptability as well as resilience. A lot of the
Mhm.
things that stop people is what is inward and internal biases and internal fear, as fear came out very correctly. And that's why, hence, I could understand where the courage is coming. But at any given point, or maybe where in this model would you recommend looking inward in terms of your own fears, where they're coming from, and addressing those? Where would that come from in your experience?
Yeah, so a couple of things, because there have been cases where clients are resisting to change. I mean, I had one client after so many, maybe after 5 sessions, he still was resisting to change. After 5 sessions, I thought there has been a change which I have seen, but then we again went back to zero. The reason was, just like you said, an inward bias, where the fear was from their subconscious because of certain things faced back in time. And this inward, or rather, the inner biases came from the belief system which they faced all these years growing up. So yes, certain biases do act, are in fact more dominant when there is a client who is trying to resist a change. So sometimes these three R's, these three C's won't help you. I'm telling you the truth. I'm being very candid. These frameworks might not help you. Maybe 1 out of 10 clients. So this is where you have to go back to their maybe childhood, or maybe their belief system, or maybe the subconscious, where the biases actually exist, and those have to be addressed first in order to take them here. Yeah. All right. If there are no more questions, thank you for being such a patient and wonderful audience.
I'm sorry, we
It
have
was lovely
Sobi
talking to you.
who's raised her hand. She has a
Okay.
question.
Okay. Yeah,
Sorry,
Sophie.
I was like, I guess it's the background you can't really see. Um,
Yeah.
I was actually curious on knowing that you have this belief system and you have this method. If you've ever encountered in your own for your own self where maybe these methods didn't work, but what was your like? What did you do to then pivot? Because you hearing from your life example will be really good as well.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I just like I was telling Omer that certain time, maybe 1 out of 10 clients you might find hugely resisting to change, and these springs might not work. So that is where, when I went into the deep inside their biases, deep inside their mindset, maybe back to their childhood, where they face certain traumas, where they face certain, biases which actually were dominating their thought process to change. Like, for example, when my second client, I started coaching in 2021. My second client by the end of 2021 was someone as a young boy. You won't believe, he was a young boy uh, at the age of around 27, 28, and he had a great business in digital marketing. Everything was doing good, but there were certain biases which were blocking him to adapt to change. In a sense, he had a dominating father. He had a very disciplined life through his parents. A typical routine where you don't go out of that routine, you don't go out of your circle. So all these things made him very rigid. And when there was a time to adapt, it actually created a problem where he couldn't adapt because of those biases. And this is where we had to dig deep into the belief system, create a new narrative, and then get him back to this stage where the framework would work.
So it was a
So
lot of
it's
reframing.
a lot of reframing, changing the belief system, changing the value system, working on the biases, because he had a lot of imprints of his father on him about being, rigid, following a disciplined routine. Oh, even I have raised my hand, sorry. Yeah. So that was there. He had a lot of imprints of his father on him, which was causing a bit of rigidity for him to change or adapt to change. So such cases you will find maybe 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20.
If I can have a follow-up question,
Yeah, yeah.
it was actually related with coaching that when we delve into the past, there is a very thin line between therapy and coaching. So when do we then become very cognizant that, okay, this is going more in the therapy space versus the coaching space, and then stick to the context of coaching versus therapy? Because this kind of deep-rooted thing is quite complex.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you come across such cases, there will be a time when you will be in a conflict where whether I should do a therapy or whether I should do coaching. I think it could be a mix of both. I don't do therapy, but whenever I had 1 or 2 cases where it was going straight to the therapy. So I used to recommend to my friends who were a psychologist, psychotherapist, who would do the therapy. So it can be a blend of both. There's nothing wrong in it, but we should know how much the balance should be, how much therapy, how much coaching. It would totally depend case to case basis. But there's nothing wrong in having a balance of both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Said, are we good?
We're all good, Saurabh, and I thank you so much for this inspiring talk today. And I thank each one of you for joining us today. It was wonderful having you all here. And as we see that many people are leaving, I wish you all the best. And thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, Said. Thank you so much. And thank you, Vikas, for helping with the tool. And thank you all for being such a wonderful audience.